Can you imagine Joseph? Put your shoes in Joseph on that evening, right before he had the dream. Here he is, he's just newly married, and he was betrothed to Mary, so he really doesn't know her that well. They really didn't go on dates like they would today. So they really didn't know one another. They probably only met each other a few times, and now here they are married. This is somebody that Joseph really doesn't know very well and really doesn't know if he can even trust her at this point in time. And yet Mary tells him, hey, by the way, I'm pregnant. But don't worry, I haven't been with anybody. This is from God. Now, I don't know about you, but if I'm Joseph, there's two things I'm thinking about Mary at this point in time. One, she's a liar. Or two, she's crazy. There's no way that this story could be true. And so here it is. Joseph doesn't know exactly what to do. This is humiliating for him. I can't imagine the amount of shame that he feels, the amount of disgust that he feels, the emotions that he is going through. And yet, here he is. What do I do in this situation? And so now he thinks, okay, well, I know the law. Because of the law, if he followed the law, there is nothing good in it for Mary. It could lead to her death. So this is not going to be good for Mary. So he doesn't want, he does know Mary enough to realize she's a humble individual. She's kind, she's caring. So he really doesn't want to treat her that way, even though at that point in time, he believed that she did something that was pretty bad. And so what do you do? And Joseph is sitting there going, I don't know what else to do, but I don't want that to happen to her, so I will divorce her quietly. Have you ever been in a situation like that with Joseph? Not knowing exactly what to do. Something's going on outside of you, completely out of your control, and you have no idea how to fix it. Matter of fact, it's not even your fault, and you want so much to get revenge to a certain extent, but be nice at another extent. We don't know much about Joseph, except for we understand through this event that he must have been a very humble individual. And we talked about this last Sunday, that Mary was humble. Joseph was humble. These two were not picked just randomly. God chose them from the very beginning. And the key characteristic for all Christians is humility. It's not about me. It's about him. And so here he is, not knowing what to do and frustrated. I've been in that situation many a times. I've been in his situation before as well. And it's not fun to go through. It's difficult, and you have so many emotions that are really, really negative and bad. What do you do? Well, that's where Joseph was at. But that's exactly when God enters into the picture. You see, now Joseph has a dream, and in that dream, the angel tells Joseph, hey, look, and I'm kind of paraphrasing a little bit, hey, Joseph, I know what Mary said it sounds kind of crazy, but I'm telling you she's telling you the truth. She is telling you the truth. This baby is from God. She wasn't with anybody. Trust her. Take her as your wife. Go and care for this child. And I want you to remind you, by the way, hey, do you remember the Old Testament scriptures that pointed to the Messiah? That said the virgin will be with child? And I can imagine in this dream, and he's just starting to realize, oh, I do remember that. Yes, oh. And he's starting to get it. And he's like, also, do you remember when Isaiah said that his name shall be called Emmanuel, which means God with us? Trust me, Joseph, God is with you. I know you're going through difficult situation. I understand that. And in the end, Joseph wakes from the dream and he follows what the angel said. But did it get easier? Not really, no. But he still followed. One other key characteristic is when God tells you to do something, that you follow it even when it's going to be difficult. And that's what Joseph does. And so I want you to understand that just as Joseph was in this situation, you may be in a similar situation as well. Understand that at all times, God is with you. Always that God is with you. I'm giving them keys. And he also, the angel tells Joseph, you're going to name him Jesus because he will save you from your sins. What a blessing it is to know on this Christmas Eve, on the celebration of the birth of Christ, that God enters into your story for your sake. I pray that you can truly understand that God is with you and he will save you from your sins.